Good morning. It is February 6, 2025. A lot of question marks on what is going on with Israel and United States' decisions, especially expanding the territories from Canada to Gaza. What President Trump is doing is unprecedented and it's astounding. It's not the norm. Let's just go there for a moment. What I've read in so many comment sections from TikTok to post to so many things that I've been seeing on the news feeds on just general information from just regular comments. It's uncanny. So I did a study last night on Revelation 17 and 18 about the fall of Babylon. And I'm just going to read from my notes. I'm not going to read the scripture, but from my notes, I can go back about the seven plagues, and I can get into telling you about the four beasts and the seven angels and the golden vials and the fall of the wrath of God, the fall, and then the wrath of God. I could go into that. Let me just kind of give you a preamble. The first vial is gruesome sores. The second vial is a bloody sea. The third vial is rivers and fountains turned into blood. We've seen a lot of this stuff already happening. The seventh vial is sun scorch, men with fire. The fifth vial is painful sores. The sixth vial is the great river Euphrates is dried up. That's already happening and it's in progress. The seventh vial is a great earthquake unlike anything before. So I took notes while I was reading. Now, I'm going to take an excerpt from the scripture about the seven angel and the vials in verse 17 of Revelation. It says in verse 1, "And there came one of the seven angels in the seven vials that talked to me about saying, Come to me, come hither, and I'll show you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth on many waters, and with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth they made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away to the spirit of the wilderness, and I saw a woman that sat upon the scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed with purple, scarlet, and colored, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications." I just want to leave it there. We need to identify the great whore. A lot of people will say the United States or the great city is one of which so many people point the finger at New York. Some people point the finger at Los Angeles. There's a lot of different ones that you can point the finger at. But I always look at the great whore as the Statue of Liberty because of what's inscribed on the top of the forehead of this. And I'm just going to read it. This is what's inscribed on the forehead. "Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth." And that was a gift that was given by the the country France. And that's inscribed on the forehead of the Statue of Liberty. So it goes back to the golden cup and the cup of abominations. Now I'm going to take some notes here. I'm going to take note of what I wrote. The stories that unfolded over the last 10 years, I'm going to read off. Pizzagate, Frazzle Drip, the Statue of Liberty that I just described, the heads of state, the shedding of innocent blood, being abortion, human trafficking, missing children, sexual exploitation of children, murder, Satanism, and witchcraft all have increased. Those are the notes I took in just Revelation 17. Now I'm going to skip to 18 about the fall of Babylon. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven with having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily in strong voice of Babylon the Great is fallen, and fallen in the habitation of devils, and hold with the foul spirit in the cage of every unclean spirit and hateful bird. For all the nations had drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All the kings of earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth that waxed rich with the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another angel say, come out of her, my people. Do not partake of her sins, ye not have her plagues. For her sins have reached to heaven, and God will remember her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you double unto her double according to the works of the cup that she had filled with to her double. How much she has glorified herself divinely and deliciously, so much torment, sorrow is given and saved in her heart. I sit as a queen. I'm a widow, and I shall not sorrow. Okay, let me stop there for a minute. I took notes. The fall of Babylon is a great abomination that the stench of her sins have reached heaven. The kings of the earth have watched her committed fornication with her. The merchants of the ships watch her smoke of her torment and her burning. And in 1 hour, the collapse of Babylon is witnessed by the onlookers. The great city has fallen and is no more. And at the very end of this chapter, and this is Revelation 18:21, a mighty angel casts a millstone into the sea and destroys the great city, and the city is no more. That was my Revelation 17 and 18 study. The reason I shared this is because there is an end game to all this, to address the elephant in the room. What I see is everything I shared. I don't need to repeat myself. I would say what we're watching is all setting up for the beginning of what will be judgment upon Babylon, the great whore. I've been wanting to talk about it. I just didn't know how to point it out, but how this will look in the, well, how it's going to turn out. It's just a matter of time. Will we be here to see this destruction? I think we're about to see everything come together here. Do I think Donald Trump is the Antichrist? I don't think so. I think he is making it very clear that he is opening the doors to the building of the third temple where the Antichrist will sit. He's laying the groundwork for it, though, definitely. But God uses people for this purpose, and